This record is tough. Oh my God.
Hey, you know we wanna we got a problem with one of us. You got a problem with all of us. Speaking of problems, I got it with bitches they mad. I fucking make it, never call them up. Speaking of calling, it's gonna be yours. Better respect me.
I'm turning up. Oh my God. Cdot Honcho. I like it. I like it, man. I'm kind of old, so I don't always be checking for a lot of new music. And believe it or not, lately where I've been discovering a lot of the new music that I've come to know and love, it's been on damn TikTok. I'm only on TikTok in the early morning just to watch funny videos. I pretty much, if you have a funny video, I add you. If I like your video, I add you. I don't give a shit if you add me because I'm not on there to really like interact with people or use it. I just like to laugh and watch funny videos. And that's how I get my entertainment. Because you have to wonder, who entertains the comedian? I got to entertain myself. So, yeah. This record's called This shit is hot, man. Run it back.
I hit a lot of hoes you probably know. Better yet, one of them probably is yours. No, I'm lying. I wish she was yours.
It's hot, man. I like it. But anyway, that's our musical what portion of the show, man. Just me getting hyped to this. What's today? Today's Monday. We're just coming off the snow days. I actually got out of the house today and rode around, ran some errands, had to pick up some food and some stuff, some cleaning supplies, gotta keep the place clean, all that, whatever. I don't know, man. Like, yes, you can tell that it snowed. There's snow on the ground, but for the most part, the weather is just back to how it normally is out here. But people are still acting like we're in a crisis. Now, some of my folks down south, way south, like Portland is going through it right now. Those niggas ain't got no power, bro. One of my people sent me a thing today that said they figured to have around 300,000 people without power. Could be as long as up to 10 days before they get that shit back. So it's a blessing that here in Seattle, we didn't get hit like that. I'm able to still bring you the show because I have power. Other people ain't got that. So I'm very blessed to be here. Thank you for joining the show. This is Lunchtime TV. Memeco Jackson Productions presents the Starters on the Bench podcast and the Memeco Jackson show all rolled into one. Again, man, my inspiration for new music has literally been coming off of TikTok. Again, I don't use TikTok to really like involve myself with other people. I just am just watching. I post every now and again. That way people know my shit's not fake, because I don't want to be known as a bot or some shit like that. But again, if you have a funny video, I add you. There are some people on there, bro. I'm telling you, it makes it worth it. There are a lot of funny people on this planet. Y'all gotta look beyond the Kevin Harts of the world and all the. And no, there's nothing wrong with Kev because Kev's stupid funny too. But like, there are other people who are not famous who are equally as funny, and not everybody on there is doing some like weird ass dance move. All right, it's not all about that. Some of these people are doing jokes. Some of these people are doing sketches. I mean, I found this one dude. Let me make sure I shout him out because I actually believe Buddy is on. Like, he's not the same as Country Wayne. Somebody tried to tell me that, and I didn't really like that because I feel like these people are two different people. His page is called the Lyles Effect, and so I discovered him off TikTok, and I forget what the video was, but the shit was stupid funny. And then I started following. And then I noticed he had more and more videos. And these shits are funny. And now he's got stuff up because, listen, TikTok is helping him take off. All of his platforms are taking off. And so now we got Rod Lyles. You can book him now. He's a comedian. He's stupid funny. So shout out to him, man. I hope he ends up watching this shit. I'm going to let him know. Like, bro, I had to give you a shout out on the show, Cuddy, because you're mad funny. And I told him that. I'm like, yo, his shit had me down. What was the video? Oh my God. There's some song that was part of some challenge. And he has a video where it looks like he's trying to figure out the words to the song. And it's the one where the Junebug challenge or whatever. And right at the part, I think the person says, "Bitch, I got no sense." The part that had me down is he on his video, he says, "Bitch, I got loose hips." And if you're old, you understand how when the hip get to hurting, it's funny. All right. It made me laugh. Me talking about it now, I probably ruined it. Probably wouldn't make you laugh, but it was stupid funny. And I think he's up next. I can appreciate really good jokes and good humor. So shout out to my man Rod Lyles. Lyles Effect. If you have not checked out his page, go do it now. And he's not completely on just yet. Wait, when he get that blue check, it's over, man. I'm telling you, because then everybody gonna see it and they gonna see how funny he is. So shout out to him. Doing shout outs early. And so that brings me to, this is crazy because I'm happy to talk about this. An actual friend of mine who grew up in the same place that I did, who can vouch for a lot of the stories that I talk about and things that I say about the place that we're from. He knows how shitty it is because he got out of there. Shout out to my man, Thomas Tompkins. Tom has decided that he wants to branch into the sneaker world and the world of lifestyle. And he has a page called Sneak Addict, and it's going to be San Diego's newest sneaker and lifestyle page, man. And I think this is going to be lit for him because this is right up his avenue. I want to say that my man Tom for a long time was, bartending and being a part of these big, great scenes and really networking, working hard. And he's had a love for fashion and style and it's not, home decor and classic items and things like that. And so he's wanting to bring this to life within his city and then hopefully get it spanning across the globe. So if you have not had a chance, go on to my IG and stalk a lot of my cool ass friends, Tom being one of them. And the new page is called Sneak Addict, kind of like sneakers in an attic. Sneak Addict. Shout out to you, Tom, man. I hope to come out, man. We'll have you on the show. You can come here, be on the show, and we can talk about all the things you're doing, man. He showed me some of the stuff that he has for sale, like vintage cameras, cool ass books for the coffee table, like stuff that'll make your place start looking like MTV Cribs. All right. Reach out to my man. He'll hook you up. All right. Dave Chappelle is back on Netflix, the Chappelle Show. Now, you remember we did a show a long time ago, and this was a story last year about how Dave was mad because he wasn't getting paid. Somebody was trying to short him. Viacom, Netflix, somebody in charge and who was holding on to the catalog was trying to not pay my man Dave the money for the content that he had blessed us with so many years ago. Obviously, if you know anything about Dave Chappelle, you know about his story. We're not going to get into all of that. Dave deserves all the money that can be provided for the comedy that he provided us. And not even just specifically for his show, but he really helped keep Comedy Central's channel going. He also put a lot of comedians on the map who did these similar type of sketches because he made it where people felt comfortable and okay, based on the fact that for the most part, we know Dave is a pretty stand-up guy. And people really fuck with Dave. So we loved his show. Obviously, things happen. The show stops after 2 seasons, and then we go into a space where Dave doesn't want to do the same type of stuff that he wanted to do because he's feeling unappreciated. Dave, we know how that feels. All right. Then we fast forward. Netflix decides that they're trying to do everything they can all last year to try to get content up because they knew that when January hit, a lot of their users were going to go in another direction because they were no longer going to be hosting The Office. Dave had several successful stand-ups on Netflix over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. And so, hey, why not bring his show to Netflix? But the only problem is they didn't want to pay Buddy. But now we are back again, and after public outcry as well as outcries from Dave, and Dave, I don't feel like Dave was asking a lot because I watched a little stand-up thing that he did around the time when COVID started, and he talked about this situation, and he talked about how he felt like he just wanted to be paid. And I would not be mad if any artist sat in front of me and was like, look, y'all saw what it was. I poured my heart and soul into it. Here are the facts. I was not compensated properly. And now people want to use my content as a way to help boost sales for them. And I want to get the get back. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. You did a job. You outperformed and exceeded expectations within your job. You deserve to be compensated. This is back pay, Cuddy. Dave's going to be on Netflix again. He probably is already up there. I actually have these DVDs. I've always had them. And I ain't going to lie to you, because at this point, how in the hell do I even play a DVD? I mean, I know my Xbox has a slot for it, but I don't even know if that shit works. So, and I also don't know if this is enough to make me come back to Netflix. Now, Netflix, I see y'all keep sending me these damn emails. You don't have nothing I want, okay? You and I, we had our fun. It's over. I'm done with you. You can't give me what I want. You just don't do it for me anymore. It's not me, it's you. But congratulations to Dave. All right. I can't even believe that this is happening. We are on, I mean, obviously this is several days of elapsed, but we are on the 4th day in a row of me talking about this. Gorilla Glue has literally turned 2021 upside down. We have a lot of these people who are going out of their way to try to prove that this adhesive is not as strong as MFs are making it out to be. And these people also keep taking the We have a man who decided to Gorilla Glue cups to his lips. And at the time when I saved like a plastic solo cup to his lip, at the time when I had saved this story, the consensus was that he might lose a lip. I'm not having a moment of silence for his lip or his feelings or anything about him. No, well, yes, I'm having a moment of silence for his stupidity. Because in order to prove a point, and mainly because him as a man, he wanted to try to make it seem like what this young lady was going through was not as real as it was. In order to prove a point, he did something stupid, and now he's going to pay for it. Imagine being like, hey, so I'm sorry, shorty. I can't kiss you because I ain't got a lip. Now, I'm sorry, I probably was wrong to do that. But at the same time, this is not like an unfortunate circumstance. This can be prevented. You don't have to put Gorilla Glue on your lips. Might lose a lip? Are you shitting me right now? Is this what we've come to? Y'all have gotten so bored during quarantine that you're deciding that you want to try and see who can outlast longer, your skin or the Gorilla Glue. I assure you, you will not win, okay? You're not going to win. Shorty had to have plastic surgery and have that shit removed. And you know what? I saw she's doing an honorable thing. She raised over almost $25,000 in GoFundMe donations and plans to give a large portion of the proceeds to some charity and only keep a few grand for herself. I guess not a bad way to win a few $1,000s, I suppose. Because what were you trying to accomplish by putting Gorilla Glue on your head, on your lips? Or like one story I did last week, shorty put it on her genitals. And again, not getting those back. Crazy shit. All right, let's get off of that. We transition to sports. Now, I wanted to get into this because me being a person who's from Florida, I know that anybody who is from where I'm from or represents the state, they might low-key be upset about the things that I'm about to say. And that really doesn't have anything to do with Florida, but we're just going to make fun of the Jacksonville Jaguars for a little bit. And mainly because these people who were probably once all Florida Gator fans, and now they get to be proud Jaguars fans because their savior, Urban Meyer, has come back to the state. The only thing is Urban Meyer is kind of a shitty person. And I know you're probably thinking like, well, what did he do? And it's like, well, yeah, he hired this guy who was fired from a previous job for being racist, basically, insensitive, and an idiot. Then Urban hired him and then tried to tell us that, hey, I vetted the guy and I've known him for 20 years. And based on the strength of our relationship, I think he's good to work here. even though nothing about his last circumstance has actually been addressed, nor has he actually come out and held himself accountable. Urban said that he was transparent and that he vetted the situation. We come to find out that he did not do that. Even the people in the front office were a little bit ashamed about the fact that Urban hired this guy, even though you've known this nigga for 20 years. And again, if you're someone like me, you're not surprised, because this is what white dudes do. They expect everyone else, their own women, women of color, and then obviously all other men. They expect us always to hold ourselves accountable. And they like to hold us accountable too. But when it comes to them or their friends, this shit is okay. Now, if you know anything about Urban Meyer's history, you know that his previous job at Ohio State, he had kind of a similar situation where he had allowed a person to be on his staff, even though this person had knowingly committed acts of, I think it might have been domestic violence. Something that does not go with the standards and morals of the university, of his job. And then, he doesn't have to quit or resign, doesn't get fired. He just, I'm going to leave the job due to medical reasons. I may not ever coach again until another job looks desirable. Now he finally gets a new job. He's in Jacksonville. Oh my God, the savior's here. Only if you're a fan of that team. That team sucks its own balls. Only if you're a fan of that team. And this is like his first hire. Now, if you know anything about the NFL, and listen, I'm not making up the numbers, but it's above 70%. Usually the teams are mostly comprised of black athletes. Usually. What do you think these grown-ass men who make more money than you are going to say when you bring in a guy who was fired from his last job because he's a racist little strength coach? And I think Urban thought that, well, he's a strength coach. No one's paying attention to him. It almost seems like he forgot about the entire last year of our lives. And this is a guy who, let's be honest, people. You can make a list. Obviously, a lot of players help him become successful. But most of the players that help him achieve the level of success that he has had over the years are who? They're the black kids. So you can't make a hire like this. Say that you have been transparent and then allow the people to come out behind you and be like, well, we didn't know about this. He just hired this dude. But you had already said that you talked to everybody. It was cool. And you said, trust me, trust my judgment. How the fuck can we? How can we trust you, Cuddy? And it was funny because even in the press conference where he tried to justify it, he didn't even call Chris Boyle or Doyle. I keep saying his name right. Boyle. He didn't even call Chris Boyle by his name. He referred to him as I think the coach or something like that. He didn't even call Buddy by his name. But y'all have a 20-year bond, right? You know this nigga for 20 years. Why can't you call him by his name on national TV while you're the now head coach and basically the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars? What's stopping you from calling him by his name now? You probably called him by his name when you called him on the phone and said you wanted to offer him a job, right? So why can't you do it in front of America? Yeah, you were thinking the same word I was thinking, coward. Yeah. I feel like he already has effed up. So now, even though Jacksonville's, they brought you in because they're hoping for results very quickly. I think you ever see movies where like they go to disarm the bomb and then they pull a wire and then they just lose like a minute and a half worth of time? That's basically what Urban Meyer just did to his NFL coaching career by hiring this guy, lying about the steps that he took in order to hire him on national TV, and then coming back with corny ass excuses. And now that everybody has seen it, now if you don't win and you don't win immediately, and if you don't draft right, it's going to shorten the time even more. Obviously, you're going to take Trevor Lawrence with the first pick, and that's going to be good. But now him and Trev have to go out there, and Trev has to save Urban's job, because now that we basically know that Urban is probably swinging closer to the side of racist than someone with moral high ground and a real moral compass, now that we all know that and we see that, I think he's already on 2 strikes, bro. I don't imagine he can, if they have a really bad season, like if he lose almost all the games again next year, I could see him maybe getting 1 more year after that, and then if it happened again, fired. Now, if they go to the Super Bowl, it doesn't negate anything I've said. Just good job for you. But you're not going to the Super Bowl, and you have to know that. And that's, again, why the leash is now so short. It's terrible first hire. You already lied about it. Maybe you're a good coach, but your judgment can't be trusted. That's all I got to say about that. Okay, let's talk about signs. And I want to preface this part of the conversation by saying I don't know shit about signs, but I do know a couple of things. I know that we all blame our signs when we act like bozos, and I know that a lot of people are too caught up with the signs. And when I say that, I just mean not every time something happens does it automatically need to be traced back to it's your sign that has you in this position. No. Sometimes this is just what it is. All right? And it just got me to thinking, because I feel like lately, even when I've been having conversations with people and I've been telling them about events in my life, some people will literally say to me, especially if they know me, they'll go, well, it's because you're a Leo. I'm like, no, nigga, this just happened because that's what happens, like the car. I got mad because the car got dented. The car was parked too close to another car at the grocery store. That person hit my car. I was mad because of that. It had nothing to do with me being a Leo in that moment. It was specifically because the car got hit. Well, it's because you're a Leo. That can't be the reason for everything, okay, Cuddy? And also, when y'all get caught up, you can't just be like, well, what do you expect me to do? I'm a Leo. No. Because you know what you're doing. You know. I know. All right? We're not stupid. We just try to play like it. Stop blaming everything on your sign. No one gives a fuck about your sign. All right? Maybe there's some, there are some things I can see, maybe vibes. I don't know, man. But some of y'all just be trying to use it just to use it. You know what I'm saying? Like people try to use their signs like a get out of jail free card. It's not how this shit works, man. Even if you are a firm believer in astrology, shout out to you if you are an actual real believer. But I hope you know there are people walking around laughing at this little thing that you believe in, and then also using it as a way to justify their behavior. That's cornball shit. Stop blaming your sign. Some of you are just shitbags. And listen, and not even you personally. You just have shitbag behavior. Let me specify that, because I think within all people there has to be some, even if it's only about this much. You got to have a little bit of good within you, a little tiny bit. Everybody cares about something. But some of you just have shitbag tendencies. And then what you do is you use your sign as a way to be like, well, listen, I know I pissed you off. I mean, come on, baby, I'm an Aries. Nah, you're just a piece of shit in that moment. That was a shitty decision. You didn't think about, or maybe you did think about how it would impact the people around you, but you just didn't care in that moment. That's just a shitbag tendency. That's nothing to do with your sign. Shout out to Gabby. Gabby's in the chat. Welcome to the show, Cuddy. Let's see, man. We try to get better about talking about, other people's pockets. But this just seemed crazy. $24 million on a diamond, and then you had it like, is it glued? It's on Buddy's forehead. Lil Uzi Vert. I don't know, man. Young niggas just be doing it different, I guess. He said, fuck it, I had 24 million extra. So I just spent it on this diamond. And I just figured, why have a chain or a ring? Let's be different. And I'm just going to have it super gorilla glued to my forehead. Is that what he used? I wonder, did Uzi use gorilla glue to put this diamond on his forehead? And if so, is he the one case that actually has worked successfully to where he hasn't had to have some type of skin graft surgery or something to cover up some now newly filled hole in his head from where the adhesive just ate through his skin? Who knows? But $24 million on a diamond, and it's on Buddy's forehead. You know what? Nigga, if you have money, just do that shit. Because like at the same time, like you could be done tomorrow. If you have an extra $24 million, do some crazy shit that you would have never ever dreamed of doing. Like Jeff Bezos right now should just like, if I had that type of money, I would just buy some random shit. Or like buy a whole house and then just the next day, like sleep in it, party for like a week, tear it up, and then just like have a demolition crew come and demo it. And then just build something the next week. And then in 6 months, get tired of that and demo it. Why don't you just do crazy shit like that? Or gorilla glue diamonds to your forehead or shit. I don't know, man. I can't even think of crazy shit to do because you know why? Because my pockets don't allow my imagination to go that damn far down a rabbit hole. I got to get 24 million and then maybe my ideas will start to get more creative. When the show take off, we'll come back to this conversation. We'll talk about how we plan to spend my 24 million. I'm going to take suggestions. Y'all can suggest some crazy shit. And you know what? If I have 24 million, we're going to fucking do it. You know why? Because why not? You only live once. Unless you're a cat. And then you get 8 extras. And I don't know if I'm built like that. So we're going to try to make it count like Uzi did. I'm not getting a diamond on my forehead. But maybe, you know what I'll do? This gets me into my next thought. You know what I'll do? I'll pay to have somebody design wigs for all my favorite hairstyles and then have a hairstyle every day. It'll be different. Why? Why not? But I did have a thought the other day about man wigs. I've never been able to tell if a man has a wig on. And it really got me thinking, can people who have wigs, can they spot another wig wearer? Is it easy? How do you tell somebody has a wig on? Because I don't know if it's just that I can't see that fucking good or if I genuinely just don't know how to spot somebody wearing a wig. But I really want to know. Gabby said she'd buy a crazy animal like a hippopotamus. You know, I saw a video the other day of a hippopotamus literally it looked like they were trying to devour a boat that had humans on it. So if you get that, nigga, I'm not coming to your house. So it's been real. You've been a wonderful family member. I love you, but I'm not coming to your house if you get a hippopotamus. Now, if you get a busload of penguins, I'm up there, all right? I'll pull up. See, that's what I would do. I would go to Antarctica and I would just see if I'm allowed to pick out like 6 of my favorite penguins and then build an aquarium on the property that I'm in and they could just kick it there. Not for anyone's view, just like I'm just going to hang out with them because penguins are my favorite animal. And that's probably something y'all didn't know about me. Anyway, how do you spot a wig on a man? Because I've seen these videos where niggas are showing up to the barbershop looking like George Jefferson and they come out with like a whole Caesar with the tape and like a lot beard and like a whole thing. And I'm like, how? How did they do that? Gabby says, yes, you can tell if it's a wig or not. Maybe I've just been oblivious because I normally don't really be caring. If you feel confident, you do you. But I just be wondering, how good is the best wig? And can it stand up to all elements? The rain, heat, sleet, snow? Like, can these wigs go through a tornado? Can they last during a tropical storm? How good is the best wig on the market right now? Gabby says if it's a woman's, the part in the hair will be a different color, or you can see the hairline is off in the front. Yeah, I feel like I can definitely tell when a person has a wig on and it's not on correctly. I definitely can always see that. But if it's on like perfect, I just can never tell. And then like people will take off the wig and the whole thing. You'd be like, that's not even the same person I was just talking to. And I'm surprised I don't get swindled more when it comes to this. It's probably because I don't actually get out and like talk to a lot of people, not enough to where I would have to see you face to face where you could finesse me or anything like that. But I don't know. Maybe what if some of my homies have wigs? I just don't know it. I do know a lot of bald people. Some of my friends are bald. But you know what? During quarantine, my man Jay sent a picture to the group chat where he had hair, and we still don't know if that's real or not. I wish Jay was in the chat. He says in the group chat that his hair is real, but nigga, that could have been a wig. And you know what prompted this? Now I'm remembering, because I saw a video of Tory Lanez playing basketball, and it looked crooked on the front, and then on the very back where you could tell where they put the hair, like on the top, like right around here, you could tell it was starting to come, like peel up. And I'm like, yo, this shit, like you could really pull up and like rip it off like a Band-Aid, and Buddy would have just had the George Jefferson cut. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that cut, but I'm just wondering, like, when your wigs start to fray like that at the bottom, is that when you know to get it fixed? How often you get a wig fixed if you're a man? And is it even a wig, or is it still called a toupee? Or is that just very old school or only a designation for white folks? I just don't know. I don't know anything about the wig game. Someone did leave a comment on my poster. They said, this sounds like something you should ask Steve Harvey about. And I thought that was kind of foul. But I didn't even think about it. But does Steve Harvey have a wig? I don't know. And I honestly, for the life of me, can't remember the last time I seen Steve Harvey. Does he even have fucking hair or not? I thought he was bald with a mustache, but someone was telling me that he has hair. And I'm like, I remember him on the Steve Harvey show having hair, but like, does he have hair on his current show? Gabby said, I wore a wig for the first time a few months ago, and most people could not tell. Most people who know me will know that my hair is longer than, okay, yeah. I mean, obviously, I feel like if I spend enough time around somebody and then they popped up with a different hairstyle, I might be like, yo, my man, you got a wig on? But I don't know, man, because I think about it, like, what if I see, like, I feel like if I saw my brother pull up and he had like dreads or something, I'd be like, I know you didn't grow this out. This is a wig, you know, because you just know some people's like their routine. They're not doing all that, you know, but there are some people who really came out of this quarantine looking mad different. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a wig. Maybe you just really got tired of it and you're like, let me just like get a pre-wig, and then it's like a medium wig, and then it's like a getting close to the playoffs type of wig, and then it's like a finals wig, and then boom, you got Predator dreadlocks. I don't know. All right, man. You know, I was gonna talk about this Kyle Rittenhouse kid, and usually we are very nice to children on this show, but fuck that kid. He's a murderer. So he's a supremacist. It doesn't even matter his color. He's a supremacist, all right? Y'all know the type. We got Buddy on tape killing. We got him on audio admitting to killing. And then we have people on audio and on tape giving him passes. Oh, you need a month off before the trial? Go ahead, Cuddy, take it. Oh, you don't want to go to jail because you don't want to be comfortable? Go ahead, we'll make it work for you. I hate it, man, because I genuinely... I love kids, man. And I never want to be in a space where I'm looking at any kid as some sort of lost cause. But when you watch a person run down the street and shoot people, you can't help but say, fuck them kids. Hopefully we as Americans and as people, we learn lessons about how maybe we should step up and do a little bit more when it comes to raising our children. Because you can still tell your kids that they are allowed to have their own opinion, and it can differ from the masses. It can be different than other people. But you can also teach them restraint and be like, fam, well, what do we do, mommy? What do we do, daddy? Well, sorry, son, there just isn't a whole lot you can do. You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to have your own opinion. You are even allowed to be frustrated and even showcase those emotions. But you're not allowed to take it steps further and take it so far that you end up killing people behind some beliefs and ideology. It just isn't worth it. And now, hopefully, once he get convicted, he gonna be in prison making man wigs. All right, man. This is the end of the show. Thank you for tuning in to Lunchtime TV. Be sure to check out the Lyles Effect. Shout out to my man Rod Lyles. He's book him now if you're looking for somebody to come do comedy anywhere. In any type of situation, I bet Rod will pull up and watch his sketches. This nigga's hella funny. Shout out to my man Thomas Tompkins, man. Sneak Addict. If you need any type of lifestyle upgrades, check out my people. And then, like I said, Cdot Honcho, man. This is the cut right now. Run it. Don't worry about the content. Just ride that beat. All right. That's the end of the show, man. I'm out of here. Gabby, shout out to you for being in the chat. Gabby says, I always ask my kids if they think what they did was a good choice. Yeah, you know, and you know where you probably learned that from? Where do we learn that from? Gabby, put it in the chat. Where did you learn that from? Obviously, your family, our mother, but also when you just had simple training from a job at the YMCA, they teach you that. Simple little commands and little things that you can say to your kids to ensure that they are making good choices. And you got to help them to remember that. It's just as simple as being like, hey, is that a good choice? And let them answer yes or no. And if they say no and you know that, or they say yes, it was, and you obviously know that it's no, that's a teaching moment. That's all it is. You don't got to beat your kids. You don't got to go crazy on them. Maybe you get a little bit like, hey, we don't do that now. But like, it doesn't have to be any more than that. You got to train them, cuz. Got to train them. That's it. And allow them to grow within the training. Even at your job, right? You make a couple of mistakes, but you learn, you get better, you improve. You have to do that with your kids. It's not that hard. I know you didn't learn everything from mom. You definitely, never mind. Shout out to my mom. I heard last couple weeks ago, she like almost cut her finger off doing something. I assume Cuddy's okay because when I called and reached out, you know, we chatted briefly, but she didn't seem like she was broken up about it. Yeah, well, Gabby, you have common sense. The person who almost cut their finger off working with woodworking materials, not a lot of common sense. Yeah. You know, I was actually at lunch with my old supervisor from the Y today. She no longer works at the Y, and I no longer work at the Y. We love what the Y stands for. We just listen. There's a lot of people that worked at the Y that we worked at that we do not like. But like Gabby said in the chat, the Y is a wonderful place to learn some. I don't want to say they're low level because we can't tell you how to do everything, but you do learn how to manage kids at a certain level. It can be helpful as you phase in to different spaces in life where children are involved. That's all I'll say. All right, man. Gabby, appreciate you joining the chat. Thank you for everyone that tuned in to Lunchtime TV, man. It's, you know, Monday through Thursday guaranteed, Friday optional, Saturday optional, Sunday no shows. I'll see you guys tomorrow.